Hey guys, Rex Plays Games, or 789 here. Today we are going to be doing a quick little run through of Nox Parkour and the Toxic Jungle. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm mainly doing this little run through just to kind of show off the map and show off how to do some of the jumps and stuff. So I did make this map, if anybody was wondering who didn't know already. I did make this map. It's my first map made in Cradle. I gotta say, I do enjoy making maps in beta, and I will be making a sequel to the map, so stay tuned. I also want to edit the ending, which we will see in this video. I will also be editing the ending of the game to, okay, I'm very excited but yeah, I'm gonna be editing the what? I'm gonna be editing the ending to this map to kind of tie in with the sequel. So, there is like a little bit of a story to this map. It was just kind of like a thrown together at the last minute story, just the chits and giggles. But basically, you wake up in the cave, kind of just like not knowing how the hell you got there, and you decide to like adventure around the island for a bit. I should probably explain these jumps, but basically, I don't know why I just jumped out there. I did this respawn. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so basically, you just kind of journey around and you notice that there's a bunch of skeletons around. I did hide a few skeletons around the place. And you're just kind of noticing all this, and you're also noticing the toxic waste, which if you, it's a little Easter egg hidden thing. I hid these like toxic waste barrels around in different sections of the map, so you know, a little bit of a secondary mini game. Just try to see if we can spot them all. Here's one over here in this like jungle-ish area. We'll also be doing another flyby of the map. So anyways, I just want to quickly, I mean, these jumps are kind of self-explanatory. If you were watching, they aren't too hard. I'm trying to go back to the beginning here, really showcase. I kind of can't. So anyways, you're just going to be sprint jumping for that first one, and then you can jump down here. I don't know if you can make it on this one, but I think you can, but it's easier just to go over here. I think this one you have to sprint jump, but I'm pretty sure I've made it without sprint jumping as well. There's no skeletons. And then from there you can either go right here, or you can skip all the way over there, which will be another sprint jump. I think this is a sprint jump too. But from here you can just kind of just not sprint jump these, and they're pretty easy. Now you can either go straight over here, or you can do the path that I like to take for no reason, which is to go on those two, which is also you're going to have to sprint jump for that first one, because the character won't grab onto the ledge if you don't. And you also have to sprint jump for this one. You will be sprint jumping for that one, and then you'll make it to this next area, which I like to call the wall. So this is a little bit of a tricky jump. You do have to hit a particular angle of this tree, and a little bit of funny story, but I accidentally placed this tree here and then realized it was in the way, and then kind of liked the added challenge that it brought, so I just kind of kept it there. So there's a fun fact about that tree. Yeah. But you do have to hit it at a certain angle to kind of just wedge yourself. I cannot make this jump, but basically you're going to be trying to go for this. You're going to be doing like I guess like a strafe jump. I don't know what you want to call it, but I am playing like utter trash right now, and I'm trying to make a video about this. So that's not good. Okay, there we go. I finally made it. Gosh, didn't think I was gonna make it. So this is another one. This one's a little bit tricky too. But once you kind of get the hang for it, you do have to. It's kind of hard to explain it. It's kind of hard to know unless you were playing it. But that's just gonna be another sprint jump. But yeah, those are two difficult jumps, but they're not too hard if you can get past them. So from here, this wall section. Now, do note that there is no checkpoint here. The last checkpoint was right there. Should I put a checkpoint? I honestly debated putting a checkpoint up here, and I still might do it, but now I'm just gonna leave it like it is. So I did know that there's a banana there. That banana shrine, I call it. And if you didn't know, this map is dedicated to my good friend Inoxic over on Twitch. I did dedicate this map. He told me to make a hard parkour map. He wanted to see if it could be done, and I did it. And he said he got tilted, so I guess that's a good thing. But go ahead and go check him out if you haven't, and you're not from his community, go ahead and go check out his community. They have a Discord, you know, they're all really nice people, and I thoroughly enjoy being in the community, and I love watching his streams. So go ahead and go check him out at Twitch TV, iNoxic. I'll probably put it on the screen. Totally not that's not self-promotion. It's not me. I don't know why I was gonna say self-promotion, but there's a little bit of promo there because it is, this map was dedicated in his community. So basically, after getting past that, the banana part, I know it's very vague. It was kind of supposed to be for Balloons PD, which you've been playing recently. It was just kind of, I don't know. I wanted to put a banana somewhere just to be like, oh hey look, banana farm, but I didn't really want to do a full ass banana farm, so I just put a little banana shrine. So there's the story behind the banana shrine, I call it. So this is gonna be a little bit tricky jump. I also, fun fact, you can also land on the banana and still get up there. He did show off in the latest stream. So also another thing that he didn't know was you're supposed to jump on the street. Now I can't understand from the outsider's point of view because there's a little spot that you can jump on right there. I can't really show the camera up there. There's like a spot up there, and it looks like you can jump there, so you would assume to jump there. I do need to get rid of that part because it is a little bit confusing, but you are supposed to be jumping on this tree. From this tree, you're going to go right here, and then onto the ropes, and then into here where you will hit the next checkpoint. So this is a little cave area, and I also wanted to dedicate something over here. So, fun story, this is where the iNoxic part is going to be, but I noticed that I could put it over there, and I put it over there, and I was like, well, shit, what the hell am I going to put here? So I was originally just going to put like a giant pixel art of that corrosive sign, and then realized I suck at making any pixel art in this game. That's why even the corrosive sign doesn't even look that good. It still kind of tells the corrosive sign, so I was just like, fuck it, you can tell what it is, so good enough. And this is also kind of tied towards the, I guess, quote-unquote story. Very, very, very vague story. So you go past the cave, it was just supposed to be a dedicated section to that. And here you will be getting to the part that really made Nox very tilted, the lava cave. So after making this pretty simple jump, just to, you know, keep you on your toes, you know, remember that this is actually a parkour map. So after watching them, I can definitely see why this would be very, very hard for somebody who doesn't really know anything about the map. But you know, I guess I wasn't really thinking about that for somebody. I don't know, you think I would think about, hey, well, what about the player, not just me? But since I'm sadly the only one who was on staff to test this map pretty much, I pretty much had to take my own opinion. So I pretty much learned kind of quickly what you needed to do for some of these jumps to make them a lot easier. So what I learned for this first jump is you can't sprint it, because if you try to sprint it, well, that time I overshot it on accident. It looked like I could have done that on purpose, but I really didn't. But like, if you tried to sprint jump that, again, okay, well, you'll either overshoot it or you'll land on it and you'll kind of just like bounce on it. It doesn't really work. You can sprint jump in this still. Also, you might end up accidentally hitting it. You can still sprint jump and make it sometimes, but it's way more consistent to just not sprint jump than just a normal sprint. Now, you have a little bit of leeway here. You don't want to go too far off to this edge because then you will slide off, but you have a little bit of leeway that you can watch, so little movements helps. And it helps for the sprint in this game, because if you didn't know, this sprinting in this game is very, very bad. And as my good friend Nox put it, you basically have to like be sprinting for like a centimeter for it to work. So, and I can vouch for that, because you have to give yourself all the little like areas you can for that centimeter. So basically, after doing that one, you pretty much sprint jumping all of these. You don't want to really be like trying to like hang on and grab onto them. You want to just be landing. So this one's a little bit of a difficult one, but if you kind of like aim it at the right time, if you're jumping, that's another thing I learned, is jumping at the right time on this map is very key. So jumping at the right time here, you can land right here. I know I'm making it look very easy, but trust me, I have done this jump really bad. So I put this here as a troll, and I really didn't, and I just wanted to see if it was going to make it more difficult, and it didn't seem to make this jump any more difficult, so I just ended up leaving it there. But little did I know, Nox still ended up running into it and getting stuck on it. Usually it just pushes me over here, But anyways, that's enough about that. That's just another sprint jump. Again, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, this, and that, because I mean, it's literally all, I'm just telling you literally what I'm doing. It's just sprint jumping. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy here. And the same for this one. I'm just sprint jumping this. But this one is a little bit of fin. So, what I learned for this jump is a lot of the time you want to use the wall. Oh, see what I mean? See what I mean? If you don't give yourself that space to get a little bit of a sprint head start, you're not hitting these jumps. See, I just sprinted with that and that happened. I slid off. So, you really have to just kind of take your time. And that's the problem, is you're sitting here getting tilted, so you no longer want to take your time. So if you take your time, a lot of these jumps are pretty easy, if you ask me. If you're just kind of taking your time, of course. I'm not. I live more than I'm taking my time, but again, I practice these jumps millions of times. So, yeah, you just want to be aiming for the wall there. It's kind of hard to explain that one, but yeah, the biggest tip I can give is just aim for the wall. And kind of jump a little bit late, because what I was noticing was that it kind of looked like he was jumping a bit too early. Also, his sprint was just refusing to work on that section, so yeah. So, I noticed that this part was going to probably be a little bit complicated. You can't really see, but there is a little bit of a cave. So when I put this arrow here and this water here to kind of signify that, hey, you know, you should be looking out for water. Like, I was just hoping maybe your brain will trigger water and be like, oh, maybe there's a hidden cave in there. Have no idea. Have no idea if that worked or not. But yeah. Anyways, you're just gonna be sprint jumping onto that cusp, and then you're gonna be kind of doing like a little bit of a straight, but you don't want to sprint. You want to just do a normal, like, little straight sprint. Not sprint. Jump. Like, don't sprint it, because you will overshoot it and miss. But if you don't sprint it, you will miss. So you crawl through here, you gotta lay in a little temple door here, and you hit this next checkpoint, and here we make it into what I consider to be the most difficult area in this parkour map, what I like to call the water temple. So, let's go ahead and do the water temple, eh? So, I would like to mention that, number one, there is a skip in this area that I know about. On that. And then, number two is, this used to not have two things on it. It used to just be this one thing, but it was so finicky, dude. So basically, like, before, you had to be like right here, like you had to be as much over to right as possible, and then you would like glitch onto it. Now that there's two paths there, it is a little bit easier to hit that landing. So yeah, I was getting annoyed because that's the part that you had to restart if you miss any of these jumps. Also, what I would recommend if you're jumping there to here, don't hit this waterfall, because sometimes it will stop your sprint completely. The water can sometimes be finicky as well and stop your sprint completely, and then just kind of fuck you over. So the tip that I can give for this middle part, because right now it's looking pretty hard, is jump as late as possible. Yeah, I didn't jump late as possible there. Also, I don't know. But the biggest tip I can give is just jump as late as possible, and make sure you're sprinting. Also, I am playing like track now. Okay, so we do that. Okay, jump up. See, I didn't jump. I jumped too early there. You can kind of tell that I jumped a little bit too early. There's also a little bit confused getting onto here. Yeah, I jumped way easier with those two pads there. There we go. You can, so it's really weird. You can tell if you're gonna make it because you'll like jump in the middle of the air. It's so weird, but I don't know how I figured out that you could do that, but that's how I figured out that jump was possible. For here you want to be landing for these ropes, because I wanted you to originally land in here, but I figured out that you can't. So, because I guess with the chains. So instead you just land on the ropes, you're just going to be sprint jumping. A lot of times this will push you onto the rope. Now for the tip that I can give for the ropes, is to back yourself up a little bit. You can back yourself up a little bit, and if you back yourself up a little bit, that does give you enough room to actually properly and more consistently hit the sprinting. So this one's going to be the next really difficult jump in this part, because you have to really get yourself over on the edge as much as possible, and even then sometimes you won't make it. But go on the edge as much as possible, and as you see, you cannot make it, but that jump is possible, surprisingly. You just have to kind of hit it very precisely. And as you can see, that's why it would suck to have to always go back to this one. Also, I thought you'd be spending so much time in the water that I literally put fish in the water. Because I was like, dang, you're gonna be in this water probably a lot. Oh god, And then I don't even want to talk about like the fact that my sprint was just literally not refusing to work. That's how I knew that you can go back on these ropes. Because my sprint was just not working in this part. And it was I like But yeah, my sprint was just not working on this section. So I had to really start taking my time when I was testing it. And that's how I learned some of these tricks. Well, not this trick. I had to learn about this trick like as I was testing if the jump was even possible. But yeah, that does have to be like one of my biggest gripes about the game is how much like parkour maps there seems to be. And you'll notice that they're kind of easy, but I have a sneaking suspicion that everybody knows that the sprint is not that good in this game, and so they purposely make the jumps a little bit easier to pull off because the sprint can be so inconsistent. But I kind of just said fuck that. I mean, if it can be consistent enough that a lot of these jumps are difficult, but once you kind of learn them and master them a little bit. Shit, see, I hit the water there. It was kind of hard to tell because of the camera. I did hear the water sound effect, which means I did hit the water and that completely fucked my sprint. But yeah, you can kind of use that same trick of jumping in like the middle of the air, it feels like, on some of these other jumps to make them. And see, I just hit that one. It's really hard to make this one. So then you jump over this part, not too hard, just another sprint jump. Kind of shake your way through here, and then you're going onto the rope. I tried to make the jumps a little bit more easier because it's a pain in the ass to have to start all the way back over there, especially when you have to deal with that jump. Oh, almost went a little bit. I almost screwed myself up. Okay, so this is another one that you're gonna have to jump as late as possible. And oh, I guess that was late enough. So yeah, you're just gonna be jumping late on those two, and then that one's a pretty simple jump. This one is like a clench your ass jump, but I think a lot of times you'll make it. And then we make it into this like little, I don't know, swamp thing. I don't really know what to call this part. The dirt cave, I don't know. But anyways, so another thing I learned is once you make it onto that little dirt pad right there, don't sprint jump to this bone. So there's that tip of advice. Do not sprint, but then sprint for all the other ones. You're pretty much just sprinting for all these ones. I jumped too early there. Oh, see, I sprint jump. See? Yeah, I was just showing you. I sprint jump. So, I guess while we're doing this section, fun fact about this section, this tree used to actually, yeah, sprint jump it again. I get so used to sprint jump, but anyways, perfect time. So this tree actually has no collision, because when it did have collision, you could easily jump on those leaves, and these leaves you can actually just like stand on, like perfectly fine. And so that was kind of leading to a problem, because then you could just get up on that part, and then you're out of the map, and then you have all that problem. So I was just like, to make it easier, instead of putting a border up there and then leaving in the possibility of a skip, I'm just gonna get rid of the collision. Oh god, I am just playing like ass, man. It really isn't that even hard of a jump. It's like one of the more easier jumps. Well, I say easier, but there we go. Jump as late as possible. That's my biggest tip. Ah, I'm surprised I did not hit that one. I let go. That's the thing I do sometimes. You think you're gonna make the jump, and then you let go of your space bar, and then guess what happens? Guess what happens? Your character's not going to. The character's not gonna want to grab onto it if you're not holding space bar. They're not gonna like grab onto it and then kind of pull themselves up. And you have to pull yourself up on that goal bar. I actually made it with a sprint jump there, because I had to like position myself in the middle of the air. I realized that I fucked up. Another one that you shouldn't sprint for. I think you can make it with sprinting, but better to just not. Same for this one. And same for this one. Don't sprint for any of those, and you'll most likely make it. And we're on to the final section. So I'll talk about more about the door here in a bit. But this is the final like little running section. I thought I'd just make this kind of like a little fun / like funny section. Not really hardcore parkour because you've already made it now. So like the water temple and the lava cave, you're pretty much just going and you want to chill. So I just made this cool little running section. So we have these doors that I sadly didn't get to showcase in the stream when he was playing this because it was a little bit embarrassing because his sprint key wasn't really working. He just couldn't make that jump in the lava cave, so we decided to just go into edit mode just so we could check out the rest of the map and kind of do some of these jumps. And I have these doors turned off in test mode because I turned them off at one point because I was trying to edit around them, and then I never turned them back on accident. So yeah, these doors are supposed to close like this. They are supposed to close one after another, but I guess I didn't time that correctly. Oh, that was bad. I'm surprised I can win. Also, a little fun fact: these like weapon traps, they don't have a kill barrier on them. I purposely didn't put a kill barrier on them. I didn't want a kill barrier on them. I wanted you to think that there was going to be a kill barrier on them, but there isn't. Also, I just couldn't get the kill barriers working. Also, another little fun fact I learned is that you actually can land on these. I didn't think you could land on these, but I guess you can. So yeah, you do have to be careful for this. When I was putting them in, they didn't really seem to do anything. I swear I even went through them at one point. But yeah, be careful for the darts. And then we have this like moving wall that pushes you off very badly. And then once you get past there, I'm gonna change this ending. I'm gonna make it to where you actually go this way and then you go through like the whole thing. But to just kind of tie in with the next map, which will be the sequel. But anyways, after you've gotten past all of that, lo and behold, you are back to the beginning area because you are done. I know it's kind of like a little bit of vague thing. It's just what it is. I'm hoping that if you don't know you're done at that point, then I don't know what the heck wrong with you. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and hop back. We're going to go ahead and hop into edit mode just so I can show off fun little things here. And then we're going to be wrapping up the video. If you enjoyed the little video of the quick little run through, watching the creator of the map go through his own map, and then play like ass for a little bit, and then still make it through. Again, I know I probably made a lot of this way easier than it is, but trust me, a lot of these jumps are very difficult. And as you can see, I was failing this jump a few times. Yeah, a lot of this took a lot of practice. So let me go ahead and start from the beginning. I'm just going to show you off the quick little barrel locations. It's just like I said, fun little things. If you don't want to know where all the barrel locations is for whatever reason, then I guess skip ahead in the video. So this is gonna be your first barrel that you save just on the back of the mountain here. Oh yeah, that's a loop tree. Fix that. There is an invisible wall here. You can't see it. Obviously, it's invisible. But there is an invisible wall here. That's why you have to take that first look and jump over the invisible wall. Don't ask why I decided to do that. Just a little quick look at the environment here. And then our next barrel is going to be located right in here. That's like a little cave area. Also got a few skeletons here. Some vines. The next toxic barrel is going to be right here, as I showed earlier. A little jungle area. Here's a little peek of the jungle area. Next barrel is... Oh, I did not put barrel. That's right, because I was looking. The next barrel actually is going to be all these barrels here. There's also a better look at the toxic island. The next barrel is here. Here, the next barrel is going to be in the lava pit. After that, we're going to have a barrel right here, lava cave. Here's that under look, all the materials that I use for this part. probably see why you slide off most of this stuff. Look at the bone skeleton, waterfall. And the next toxic barrel, also here's just this. Kind of tried to make it look like, you know, it was a former temple and then like got broke through the wall somehow. Our next toxic barrel is going to be right here under the water over here in the corner. The next toxic barrel is in the tree. And then a quick little fun fact is this door that you see right here leads straight to this area, but you have to go all the way around. Not just because, you know, I didn't want to program the door, but also because I didn't want to program the door. I thought that it'd be fun to have to go around instead. And our final toxic barrel is going to be right here, behind this broken door that doesn't close. So yeah, that's all the toxic barrel locations. You probably saw all the skeleton locations too. One at this door, and then the rest of them are in here. So yeah, that was the Nox Parkour map. Well, Nox Parkour, the Toxic Jungle map. My first map made in Creta. Just realized this little piece is right there. My first map made in Creta. Definitely not going to be my last because I am already planning to make a sequel to this map. And hopefully make it a little bit easier, but still have a really good challenge. Leave off with